in a world that often feels overwhelming, where external pressures and expectations can weigh heavily on the shoulders of individuals. The journey toward self-empowerment becomes a vital quest. The story begins in a small town, where a young woman named Emma found herself at a crossroads in life. Emma had always been the kind of person who put others first, often sacrificing her own needs and desires for the sake of family, friends, and her job. She was the dependable friend, the dutiful daughter, and the hard-working employee. But deep down, she felt a growing sense of discontent as she sat in her modest apartment one evening, staring out the window at the bustling streets below. Emma realized that she had lost sight of herself. The dreams she once held dear had faded into the background, overshadowed by the demands of those around her. She longed for change, for a chance to reclaim her identity and fight for the life she truly desired. This moment of reflection sparked a fire within her, a determination to take control of her destiny. The next day, Emma decided to take a bold step. She enrolled in a local self-defense class, a decision that would mark the beginning of her transformation. As she walked into the gym for the first time, she felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. The room was filled with people of all ages, each with their own reasons for being there. Some were seasoned fighters, while others, like Emma, were just beginning their journey. The instructor, a fierce and passionate woman named Mia, greeted the class with a warm smile. "Welcome, everyone. Today, we're not just learning to fight. We're learning to fight for ourselves." Mia's words resonated deeply with Emma. As the class began, she found herself immersed in the movements, each punch and kick empowering her in ways she had never imagined. The physical exertion released pent-up emotions, and with each session, Emma felt herself growing stronger, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. She began to understand that fighting for herself meant more than just mastering self-defense techniques. It was about reclaiming her voice and asserting her worth. As the weeks passed, Emma developed a routine that centered around her newfound passion. She attended the self-defense classes twice a week, and on the other days, she dedicated time to journaling and self-reflection. Writing became a therapeutic outlet for her, allowing her to process her thoughts and feelings. She explored her fears, insecurities, and aspirations, gradually uncovering the layers of her identity that had been buried beneath the expectations of others. One evening, after an intense training session, Emma sat down with her journal and wrote, "I am reclaiming my power. I am worthy of fighting for my dreams." These words became a mantra for her, a reminder that she had the right to pursue her own happiness. With each entry, she began to visualize the life she wanted, one filled with passion, purpose, and authenticity. However, the journey was not without its challenges. As Emma started to prioritize herself, she faced resistance from those around her. Friends who were accustomed to her accommodating nature expressed confusion and frustration. "Why are you suddenly so focused on yourself?" one friend asked during a coffee date. "You used to be so easygoing." Emma took a deep breath, feeling the weight of their expectations. "I need to focus on my own needs for a change. I'm learning to fight for myself," she replied, her voice steady. This conversation marked a turning point for Emma. She realized that fighting for herself would require setting boundaries and advocating for her own well-being. It was a lesson in self-respect, one that she had neglected for far too long. As she continued her journey, she learned to communicate her needs assertively, understanding that true friendships would support her growth rather than hinder it. In the midst of her personal transformation, Emma also began to explore her creative side. She had always harbored a passion for painting, but had pushed it aside, believing it to be a frivolous pursuit. Inspired by her self-defense training, she picked up a paintbrush and allowed her emotions to flow onto the canvas. Each stroke became a form of expression, a way to channel her newfound strength and resilience. As Emma painted, she felt a sense of liberation. The colors danced across the canvas, reflecting her journey from self-doubt to self-empowerment. She began to share her artwork on social media, receiving positive feedback from friends and even strangers who resonated with her story. The encouragement fueled her confidence, and she realized that fighting for herself also meant embracing her creativity and sharing it with the world. With each passing day, Emma's transformation became more evident. She stood taller, spoke with conviction, and exuded a sense of purpose that had previously eluded her. Her self-defense classes became a sanctuary where she not only honed her skills but also formed deep connections with fellow participants. They shared their struggles and triumphs, creating a supportive community that encouraged one another to fight for their dreams. One night, during a particularly challenging training session, Mia gathered the class for a heart-to-heart discussion. Fighting is not just about physical strength. It's about mental resilience, she said, her voice filled with passion. It's about believing in yourself and standing firm in your convictions. Emma listened intently, feeling a surge of inspiration. The words resonated within her, reminding her of the battles she had fought within herself. As the class continued, Mia encouraged everyone to share their personal stories of struggle and triumph. One by one, participants opened up about their journeys, revealing vulnerabilities that had once held them back. Emma felt a sense of solidarity as she listened to their experiences, realizing that everyone had faced their own battles. It was a powerful reminder that fighting for oneself was a universal struggle, one that transcended individual circumstances. When it was Emma's turn to share, she took a deep breath and spoke from the heart. I've spent so much of my life trying to please others, neglecting my own needs. But now, I'm learning to fight for myself. I'm reclaiming my identity and pursuing my passions. The room erupted in applause, and Emma felt a wave of support wash over her. In that moment, she understood that her journey was not just personal. It was part of a collective movement toward empowerment. As Emma continued her training, she set new goals for herself. She signed up for a local martial arts competition, a decision that terrified and exhilarated her. It was a chance to showcase her skills and push herself beyond her comfort zone. With the support of her friends from the self-defense class, she dedicated herself to rigorous training, honing her techniques and building her confidence. The day of the competition arrived, and Emma felt a mix of nerves and excitement as she stepped onto the mat. The atmosphere buzzed with energy, and she could feel the adrenaline coursing through her veins. As she faced her opponent, she remembered Mia's words, "Believe in yourself and trust your training." With each move, Emma fought not just for victory, but for the realization of her own strength. Though she didn't win the competition, Emma emerged from the experience with a profound sense of accomplishment. She had faced her fears head-on and pushed herself beyond her limits. As she left the venue, she felt a sense of pride in her journey, a recognition that fighting for herself was not solely about winning, but about embracing the process of growth. With newfound confidence, Emma began to explore opportunities to share her story with others. She started a blog where she documented her journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Through her writing, she aimed to inspire others to fight for themselves, encouraging them to reclaim their identities and pursue their passions. Her blog quickly gained traction, resonating with individuals who were also seeking empowerment in their own lives. As her online presence grew, Emma received messages from readers who shared their struggles and triumphs. They expressed gratitude for her vulnerability and honesty, and Emma felt a deep sense of fulfillment in knowing that her journey was making a difference. She began hosting virtual workshops, creating a space for individuals to come together and share their experiences while learning practical strategies for self-advocacy. Through these workshops, Emma emphasized the importance of self-care and setting boundaries. She guided participants through exercises that encouraged them to identify their needs and desires, helping them craft personalized action plans for their journeys. The sense of community that formed during these sessions was powerful, as individuals supported one another in their quests for empowerment. As Emma continued to grow her platform, She recognized the significance of intersectionality in the fight. For some, she began to explore the unique challenges faced by individuals from diverse backgrounds, understanding that the journey to reclaim one's identity could differ greatly, depending on various factors such as race, gender, and socioeconomic status. Emma sought to amplify marginalized voices, inviting guest speakers to share their experiences and insights during her workshops. One evening, during a workshop focused on intersectionality, Emma welcomed a guest speaker named Maya, a renowned activist and advocate for women of color. Maya's story was one of resilience and strength, and her words resonated deeply with the participants. Fighting for yourself means understanding the systems that seek to oppress you, she emphasized. It's about reclaiming your narrative and using your voice to uplift others. Inspired by Maya's